economy is a bigger priority than punishing Russia, a new AP poll says. According to AP News, Americans are becoming less supportive of punishing Russia for launching its invasion of Ukraine if it comes at the expense of the U.S. economy, a sign of rising anxiety over inflation and other challenges, according to a new poll. So it sounds like D.C.'s all-out attempt to sell us on another war hysteria to get us involved is failing again. They've got everybody on board, media, Hollywood, left media, right media, every kind of media outlet, UK media, everybody coming out and saying, you have got to hate these people, you've got to make this the biggest story. And it's not working. People are saying, you know what, that's not what I want to prioritize. Hating these people is not my main priority. Surprise, surprise, even with all of those efforts, they can't do it without some other tricks up their sleeves. While broad support for U.S. sanctions has not faltered, the balance of opinion on prioritizing sanctions over the economy has shifted. Now 45% of U.S. adults say the nation's bigger priority should be sanctioning Russia as effectively as possible, while slightly more, 51%, say it should be limiting damage to the U.S. economy. In April, those figures were exactly reversed. In March, shortly after Russia attacked Ukraine, a clear majority, 55%, said the bigger priority should be sanctioning Russia as effectively as possible. The shifts in opinion reflect how rising prices are biting into American households. Surging costs for gas, groceries, and other commodities have strained budgets for millions of people and perhaps limiting their willingness to support Ukraine financially. That may be a troubling sign for President Biden, who approved on Saturday an additional $40 billion in funding to help Ukraine, including both weapons and financial assistance. Again, these media outlets are hacks. They spew lies 24/7. AP says it's helping Ukraine. It's not helping Ukraine. It's hurting Ukraine. That bill is designed to hurt Ukraine. That bill is designed to make money at all costs. They are hell-bent on perpetuating a wicked military-industrial complex. The founders would be ashamed with what we're putting up with. And, of course, the dumb diatribe used to be, you're blaming America first if you don't support some endless, stupid, liberal war. But really, they're blaming America's first, the founding fathers, the first who created the republic and said, you know what, we go not abroad in search of monsters to destroy. But tell that to everybody in D.C., including most of the Republicans in power today. Now, the Republican base, I think, has shifted, and they've gotten their, reality check a little bit. And many, I guess hopefully some on the left, are starting to return to their roots of being sober and not so bloodthirsty and foolish about every lie to sell them into war. But that doesn't change the fact that D.C. will do whatever they can to keep the war machine going with more lies, more scandals, and it's not going to end without them doing whatever they can to drag this war out. And that's a far cry from what they should be, which is they should be the first to start pushing for peace. If they're going to be involved, they should be pushing for peace, a quick resolution, not a stupid dragging out of a war that is not going to help those who have it continually ruining their local community. And the dumb, cartoonish silliness that we've had to put up with, where they say, there is no corruption in the Ukrainian side. All bad stuff only comes from one side. How dumb can we be to believe that? All the bad stuff. Anytime there's been a report of a civilian being killed, it's always been on one side. Russia has no way to have any justification to feel threatened by America's actions around its borders over these many, many, many years. And the Russian ethnic minority on the eastern side of Ukraine has no concerns of legitimacy about the treatment that they've experienced, including killing of kids over the last several years. You wouldn't know that. If you've got your Ukraine bumper sticker on just because you've just been told by your establishment hive mind media to now be caring about Ukraine, you weren't told you care about Ukraine in 2014, 2015, 2016 when kids were being killed in Ukraine. You weren't being told that. Why? So why didn't you have your Ukraine sticker on back then? I saw a guy running around with his pickup truck with a Ukraine flag, and I'm thinking, where was your Ukraine solidarity for the Ukrainian people being killed by their own government in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018? Where were you? Oh, you didn't hear your TV tell you to do it. That's why. Okay. And, I expect that from people who have doubled down in their fundamentalist fervor for whatever CNN or CBS has to tell them to think that day. But for those who are in the heartland, I expect a little better from them, right? When I see a giant pickup truck, I typically don't think that's a Nancy Pelosi voter, okay? And when I see a giant pickup truck with a giant Ukraine flag on cue when Nancy Pelosi's chopping, or licking her lips to go off to enable oligarchs in Ukraine to plunder the Ukrainian people for her oligarchic friends, and I'm thinking to myself, have you not learned anything, sir? Have you not learned anything that war is not something that's cool or patriotic and that sanctions are an act of war? I'm ashamed that Americans are still supporting sanctions to the degree they do. Shame on them. Sanctions don't do anything to stop the killing of Ukrainians. Diplomacy does. Acting not like a fool, but acting like a republic with a conscience does. But we don't get that kind of sophistication because apparently people have Stockholm Syndrome and the same stupid media and the same stupid DC that lied to their face about the pandemic, lied to them about the lockdowns, lied to them about being educating their kids properly, lied about the housing market never collapsing in 2008, and then you rip people off by the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. They lie over and over and over again. Where's Mr. Heartland? Where's Mr. Populist now when we need him? And Mrs. Populist. Where are they at? I should see 70% against any involvement in Ukraine other than to broker an immediate peace. That's what America worth anything is should be fighting for. Those kind of values. Because that's America. You don't spin endlessly. You don't sanction and inflame and perpetuate a war. That doesn't justify the wrong that has happened on the Russian side, but we are definitely the bigger power in this quarrel, and definitely we have the ability to have more leverage in ending it, and we could have stopped it. And I don't like people who are ignorant, who don't know anything about the region, don't know anything about the Donbass, don't know anything about it, wanting to get on a Johnny-come-lately thing about supporting some endless looting oligarchic rip-off aid bill, and then thinking that they've done something. So shame on anybody who calls themselves a conservative, a constitutionalist, a liberty person who would want to perpetuate a needless war. You should be demanding your representatives to demand a quick, peaceful resolution. If America is to be involved, it is to be brokering a fair peace to create a neutral situation in that region. Don't be a useful idiot for people who hate you, who deny you vitamin D3 and hook you up to remdesivir in a ventilator the moment you cough. Why in the world would you carry their water? For their latest stupid boondoggle scam war. Come on. Let's be Americans for once. Let's grow up and use our thinking caps.